professor at Ben Gurion and Hebrew universities, and a pioneer in the field of neonatal care. And of course, there is Rabbi Shlomo Riskin, a source of personal inspiration for me and countless other Israelis who has so deeply enriched our society with his scholarship and his unflagging efforts for tolerance. Indeed, examine any facet of Israeli life, in governance, finance, academia, defense, and you will find yeshiva graduates. And little wonder, every year, 600 of you study in Israel under yeshiva's auspices. And 15% of you, all of you receiving degrees today, will make aliyah, enriching and strengthening our state. Others will remain in the United States and further enhance the thriving modern Orthodox community here, a bastion of principled support and unceasing love for Israel. Whether in Israel or here in America, you, yeshiva graduates, will make the decisions and you will provide the answers. Israel today faces decisions and questions every bit as daunting as those it confronted on May 13, 1948. We face the threat of global and limitlessly financed campaigns to deny Israel the right to defend itself, or even to deny Israel the right to exist. We face the mortal danger of an Iran armed with nuclear weapons, an Iran that threatens to wipe Israel off the map, with many of the long-range missiles it possesses that can reach any Israeli city, an Iran that could convey military nuclear capabilities to Hamas, Hezbollah, and other terrorist organizations, a nuclear Iran that will ignite a nuclear arms race in the Middle East, transforming the entire region into a tinderbox. Finally, perhaps no less perilously, Israel faces the challenges of peace. Now, peace, of course, is a vision that we all cherish. It is the vision of Israelis and Palestinians living side by side in a situation of permanent and legitimate peace. But, and this is a big but, an inadequately negotiated peace could result in thousands of missiles raining down on our cities, our farms, and our ports, much as they did after Israel's evacuations from Lebanon and from Gaza. And inadequately negotiated peace could permit the Palestinians to persist in claiming territories from Israel and denying recognition to Israel as the Jewish state. Israel is rising to all of these challenges. We are asserting the right to defend ourselves, affirming our right to exist. We are resisting Iran's efforts to acquire nuclear weaponry, cooperating with the United States and with other like-minded nations in imposing sanctions on Iran, all the while keeping all options on the table. And we are pursuing peace, insisting on the effective demilitarization of any Palestinian state, and on the need for any future Palestinian state to recognize Israel as the nation state of the Jewish people. We are rising to the challenge. We are not rising to meet that challenge alone. We have never done it alone. We've always done it together with you. With you, we made that historic decision on May 13, 1948, to declare our statehood. And the following day, when we did, with you, we fought off those invading Arab armies. With you, we built one of the world's most resilient democracies and a thriving Hebrew culture. With you, we absorbed hundreds of thousands of Jewish refugees, reforested our landscape, and became a global leader in science and technology. And with you, we made Israel into a flourishing center of Jewish learning, a wellspring of spiritual effervescence. Be with us today, too, reaching out as you have always done, to other branches of Judaism, reconciling religious and secular studies and strengthening our commitment to Klal Yisrael, the unity of the Jewish people, and to Chivat Zion, the love of the Jewish homeland. Be with us as we grapple with the complex questions of peacemaking. Be with us if the government of Israel decides to make excruciating sacrifices for peace, or if that government decides that the arrangements offered to us do not justify such excruciating sacrifice. Be with us, for as Alav Soloveitchik said 43 years ago, the decisions that affect the safety and well-being of millions of Israelis can only be made by Israel's elected leaders. Members of the class 2010, I understand this is no easy time to graduate. There is much uncertainty out there, I understand. But as you set out on your future, know this: the state of Israel will always remain a constant in your lives, a source of pride and inspiration, and we hope someday your home. You now are the decision makers, not just studying history, but you are making history. You now are the ambassadors. The answer from this day forward are yours. Toda raba, mazal tov.
Thank you, Ambassador Oren. I now want to take